saying that you want this to be based on science, you want it to be based on fact. I want to ask about politics entering into this. Ms. McKenna, your chief of staff is signatory to a declaration calling for a moratorium on the expansion of the tar sands and infrastructure that would support it. The Prime Minister's senior advisor, Gerald Butt, signed on to that. He also says Canada should be going to a zero carbon economy. So at what point is ideology playing into this as well?
The ideology we have is that the environment and the economy go together. We are not going to get natural resources to market unless we do it in a sustainable way. That doesn't mean projects aren't going to go ahead. They're just going to have to show that they're being done in a way that minimizes the impact on the environment. Unfortunately, the previous government did not do that, which is why a number of projects did not go ahead. So let's be clear here. There's no ideology except for we need to figure out a process that is responsible and that responds to legitimate concerns of Canadians in terms of how we do environmental assessments. Right now we are in a transition period, which makes it tough because we just do not have the time. It is not fair to proponents to make them start at the very beginning. So we are coming up with a process that it fits within what we are allowed to do legally, but also rebuilds trust and allows us to consult with Canadians and also help me meet my mandate, which is reducing greenhouse gas emissions by putting them out there and having that a factor that when the project has significant effects that the Cabinet will continue.
Fair enough. You say projects will go ahead. There's an awful lot of people sitting in Calgary and Edmonton and Fort McMurray that might be looking at what your chief of staff has said in the past, what Gerald Butts has said in the past. These are guys who are advising you, advising the Prime Minister, who want the oil industry shut down. So how can you give them confidence that this is not part of moving towards Jerry Butts' ideal of a zero carbon economy for Canada?
So I'm elected by the people of Ottawa Centre. That's not anything I have said. The Prime Minister has been very clear about this, that we need to get our natural resources to market. We need to get our natural resources to market in a sustainable way. We are well aware of the job losses. There are job losses across the country because of the low commodity prices. That is a major problem. We certainly factor that in. We're going to have green infrastructure spending. We are going to have spending to help build a cleaner economy, including in terms of innovation and natural resources. And all we're saying here is that Canadians deserve to have trust in their environmental assessment process, or else no projects will go ahead. Unfortunately, under the previous government, this is why we're standing here. There was not trust by Canadians. That's why we see people expressing concerns about our environmental assessment process. But that doesn't mean that no project's going to go ahead. It just means that we have to do a proper review because this is the 21st century, and that is the way you get resources to market. You demonstrate that you have the trust of people. You demonstrate that you're doing it in a way that minimizes the impact on the environment. You demonstrate that you've consulted with people that are affected, including Indigenous peoples, and then, assuming you can make the case, then the project will go ahead.